Ladies and gentlemen, Oppenheimer, the masterpiece directed by Christopher Nolan, not only won my personal Best Movie of the Year, it's now starting to clean up during the mainstream award season as well. Now lately I haven't put much stock into awards like the Golden Globes or the Oscars, because the organizations who hand out those awards have done everything to delegitimize them over the past several years. We've got to a point where a major award for film feels more like a participation trophy than anything. And that's never a good thing. That being said, once in a while, these award shows still get something right. And they award individuals who are more than deserving based on their legitimate contributions to the art form of cinema. And Christopher Nolan is one of those people. He is long overdue when it comes to receiving recognition for his work. Of course, not everyone is happy about Oppenheimer dominating the Golden Globes. But just like any other vocal minority on the internet, it's best to ignore the unstable and insecure. Or in my case, take the opportunity to expose them for their hypocrisy. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So last night at the Golden Globes, which is the second most prestigious award in film, Oppenheimer proceeded to win Best Picture, Best Director, Best Leading Actor, Cillian Murphy, Best Supporting Actor, Robert Downey Jr., and Best Original Score.
Goddamn right, that's the only way I work, Cap.
I would have to question anyone's judgment who watched this film and saw anything but everyone involved being at the top of their game. For as great and consistent as Christopher Nolan has been throughout his career, he's never received this level of recognition, and that is an absolute crime. And at the very least, we can say this is a legitimate win, and not a makeup award like other directors have received after so many years of being ignored. Let's put it like this, when it takes a cinematic genius like Martin Scorsese until 2006 to win a Best Director Oscar, you know that these organizations have a somewhat flawed system when it comes to handing out these awards.
Why are you the way that you are?
Should Nolan have gotten recognized sooner? Absolutely. But I'm also happy that he received this award while he's still in his directing prime. And hopefully this is a springboard to Oppenheimer and Nolan receiving a much-deserved Oscar later this year. I said this in my year-end video, but I'll say it again here. A movie like this is not supposed to work in the modern era. A dialogue-driven biopic period piece, breaking box office records while simultaneously receiving almost universal acclaim. It's almost unheard of, but again, this is the type of thing that places a director like Christopher Nolan on another level. He's reliable. He's his own brand at this point. People recognize the work that he puts into his projects. He's the type of director who can sell you on the prospect of watching a movie that you would normally never watch. To me, that's what a great director is supposed to do. He's a master of his craft in every sense of the word.
It's good to be the king.
And then you have Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr., two more people that I would describe as being reliable. Cillian has been putting in great work for a while now in more side roles, and now when he's given the reins to carry a movie, he shines like everybody knew that he was capable of. As for Robert Downey Jr., the guy has been stuck in MCU purgatory for years now, and when the shackles came off and he was actually allowed to act again, Robert Downey Jr. reminded everyone of what he is actually capable of. He just seems genuinely happy to be back making real movies again. It definitely has to be more fulfilling than standing in front of a green screen all day, reacting to things that aren't there. To me, this is what it's all about. This is what separates great films from mediocre ones. And it has everything to do with the passion that goes into them. And that to me is a big reason why Oppenheimer ended up being as great as it was. That being said, not everyone is going to be appreciative of the work that goes into a film like this. It's not surprising because, as I always point out on this channel, there are some people who have a way too personal connection to certain movies, and they feel the need to put down other movies as a way of building up the movie that they like. It happens every award season, and it happens almost daily on social media. And I think it has a lot to do with how insecure those people are about their own opinions.
S-O-F capital T, soft, huh?
You can say that Oppenheimer was not for you and that it's not your kind of movie. I would buy that. But to try to undermine its well-deserved achievements with personal attacks feels disrespectful and petty. And apparently that's what's happening on social media right now when it comes to fans of the Barbie movie. Again, I wish I could say I was surprised, but I am not. You see, the whole Barbenheimer movement last year was mutually beneficial to both films from a financial perspective. There's no denying that. My issue with that movement has always been, in my opinion, from a film discussion perspective, those two movies do not belong in the same conversation. And because of this movement, they were forever linked with each other, which I think is unfortunate. And I still feel the same way because, again, I haven't seen Barbie, and I have no real interest in doing so. And a big reason for that was the conversation around it. Because just like any other social media driven movie, it was exhausting to listen to.
I don't care!
Couple that with my lack of interest, again, and WB using Barbie to try to undermine Oppenheimer because they were feeling petty about Christopher Nolan leaving the company, I just decided to not give Barbie the time of day. But now what we have is Barbie fans getting in their feelings and taking to social media to blast Oppenheimer and Christopher Nolan. Because Barbie didn't win all the awards, and unsurprisingly, they are giving the dumbest reasons as to why. Like this person who said, "If you guys think that Oppenheimer deserves more wins than Barbie, just say that you hate women and go." And another person who echoed similar sentiments, making it about gender, "Oppenheimer is a good movie, I just hate that men love it." Do these sound like people who have any concept of how to have a rational conversation about film? No, because this is not about film discussion to them, it's about their ideology. For some reason, it's about men versus women. It's about this invisible culture war that they're fighting in their head. So by their logic, if someone likes Oppenheimer more than Barbie, that means they hate women.
I don't get it.
Can someone, anyone, explain to me how these people come to that conclusion? Don't bother trying because there is no logic to support such a ridiculous claim. This is once again people on social media saying things to appeal to their 27 followers. It got worse because then we had this person say this. "I hate men. I hate the patriarchal society we live in. I hate how we treat women. I hate the Golden Globes. I hate Christopher Nolan. I hate Robert Oppenheimer. I hate the weapons of mass destruction that men create. I hate the wars that men start. I hate the joy that men suck out of life. I hate men."
But you one crazy ass.
Now again, I realize that this has more to do with this person's insecurities than it does the actual film, and I think they pretty much expose themselves in that aspect by going on a tirade of this nature. There's a good chance that this person didn't even watch Oppenheimer before typing all of this out. But I will say this, I've seen more than a few people try to downplay Oppenheimer's impact by trying to bring real-life events that are going on right now in the world into the conversation. But what these people don't seem to realize, and what some people who've actually seen the movie seem to misinterpret, is that this movie is in no way glorifying weapons of mass destruction or the people who created them. In fact, I believe that this film shows the consequences of their actions in the most effective way possible. To criticize Oppenheimer for romanticizing or glorifying this moment in American history or this person is a gross misunderstanding of what the film is actually about. I understand that the people who say these things typically aren't capable of nuanced opinions and only deal in absolutes.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
But sometimes, especially on social media, people just take their hatred way too far. It gets to the point where it impacts their ability to have a rational thought. And again, a lot of this is stemming from their love of another movie, as if these two movies could not coexist at the same time. Right now, we find ourselves in a weird time for film discussion, because it's not so much that people have discussions anymore, it's more people just yelling back and forth at each other because they want their own opinion to be heard.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Bottom line, people like this could never take away from what Christopher Nolan accomplished. Most of you wouldn't even know that people like this exist if it weren't for people like me making videos about it. But the truth is that I do believe that it needs to be addressed, because it's further proof that it's always the most toxic people who are trying to call other people out for being toxic. As always, real cinema and real film discussion will always prevail, because when it's all said and done, that's what people are going to remember about this time. They certainly will not remember the incoherent ramblings of online trolls.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.